those poor saps, whoever they are.
Readings indicate this area is safe. Transmissions jammed. Proximity coverage only. Backup activated. System rebooted. Warning. Entering dark zone. Warning. Readings indicate this area is contaminated. Exiting the contaminated area.
suck for another dollar. I am ready to mess this shit up. Roll
Hey, what's up guys? In this tutorial, I'm going to show you the best OBS settings. There's a lot of tutorials and a lot of guides on the best OBS settings. The problem is, nobody really explains what the settings mean or how to fit the needs. Download that huge data stream. However, for computers that have any bandwidth limitations,
now entering a contaminated
you can choose a
area.
higher bitrate. I think that 3500 is a relatively high bitrate. If you uncheck this, this quality of the stream,
Leaving contaminated area.
big time. But unfortunately, the lower you set this, the more CPU you're gonna use. If you were to set it to, say, medium or fast, your computer will have to work so hard to encode the stream. Your computer may not be able to keep up, and it'll just choke. On the other hand, if you set it up here to ultra fast, your CPU is not going to have to work very hard at all. But you might notice some compression artifacts and degraded quality, especially in high movement scenes. So let's keep it at very fast. That's going to keep the CPU busy, but it's going to create a pretty good quality stream. Here for the tuning, I'm going to set this to none. Some of these other settings, I don't recommend doing anything here. I don't recommend changing anything here. Profile is going to be high. Tune is going to be none. How about variable frame rate? For Twitch, we need to make sure that is unselected, and for the best quality, we want a constant frame rate, or at least the closest we can get to that. For X264 options, this is going to stay blank. Alright, let's take a look at some of the other tabs. The recording tab. If you're doing recordings to disk, you can choose where you want to record to disk. Here, if I'm going to do any recording, I choose MP4, and I only need one audio track. Some of you guys might choose to use additional audio tracks. But for me, I just use them, and I use the stream encoder. Twitch recommends that you use an audio decoder from 192. But you're also sending more data up to the servers, which results in more data. And with 160 is a regional bit rate, it's very difficult for our ear to tell the difference between 160 and 190. There are some audio files out there that seem like high-end earphones or high-end speakers that may be whenever I do streams that involve live DJs or very dynamic settings. For the audio encoding, my system works at 48 kilohertz. I try to stay consistent with 48. My Windows settings, my audio video export, particularly for YouTube, I only stick with 48 kilohertz, so my recommendation when it comes to maintaining the quality of your audio is be consistent. If everything on your system is set to 44.1, stick with that, because the ear is not going to really notice the difference between 44.1 and 48. Now, here's the video settings. This is going to be the resolution that your monitor is set at, the base resolution. I'm using a 1920 by 1080 monitor, and the resolution that you're streaming at. So I stay consistent here. I want to stream at 1080, so I stick with 1080. However, if you want to downscale to 1280 by 720 because you want to use less bitrate, or you want to use more frame rate, or for some other reason, then you can set the output to 1280 by 720 and make sure you use a downscale filtering. Any of these work fine. Bilinear is fastest, but bicubic is a little better quality. So here I have bicubic set. If you have any problems, just try bilinear. Here's where you set your FPS. The FPS you use is probably going to be either 30 or 60. For me, I use 60, but I also stream at a very high bitrate. I've had great luck using 30 as well. There are many streamers out there that are using 1080 at 60 FPS, and for many applications this would be overkill. I think if you're streaming on the creative section, then you don't need such a high frame rate. You will be fine with 30. However, if you're streaming some fast-paced gameplay, sometimes 60 FPS looks a lot smoother. Gamers like higher frame rates. You see a lot more streams on Twitch that are streaming at 1080 60 FPS. Here you can set your hotkeys, which is really cool for custom overlays and stuff like that. Under the Advanced tab, let's stick with default. Alright, the renderer is going to be DirectX 11. There's no need to change this unless there are some problem
Hazard levels
with your
normal.
setup. I would just leave those settings as default. And here the color format's going to be NV12. These settings right here that come default are optimized
Transmissions
for
jammed.
high-quality streaming
Proximity coverage
experience.
only.
And what these
Backup
settings
activated.
do is they
System
allow
rebooted.
colors in a color space that's easy to encode for X264. It is kind of weird that the YUV space is 601. It'll work fine at 709 if you try that. But like I said, I'm going to stick with the default here just to be safe. The YUV color range, however, I do like to set that at full. The partial color range is truncated, so make sure that's set to full just to get the most out of YUV. That's my preference anyway. Well, I hope that these settings were useful and that you were able to learn something from these settings. You want to know another trick about OBS Studio? Okay, I'm going to show you something that's built into OBS Studio. Maybe you already discovered it, or maybe this is going to be a little
Chopper is inbound.
So here, when you click on your scene, you can right-click on the scene. So taking a look at your scene here, if you right-click on it, you can go here to filters. This is something that OBS Studio is doing. It allows you to add some custom filters. Some of the filters that you...
My 1080p video to 1280 by 720, commonly referred to as 720p, so that I can comfortably send 60 FPS video to my viewers. Even if it's a lower resolution, the quality appears smoother because of the higher frame rate. Streaming is extremely demanding of your PC, and especially because your computer is trying to process the game while simultaneously encoding all the frames from video streaming. With Intel's latest generation Core i7 processors, you're getting new platform goodness and raw performance of 20 to 30% over the previous generation of processors. Higher resolution and frame rates will require higher power CPUs. It's just simple math, which is why both of my computers run Intel i7 processors. An Intel Core i7 CPU can handle streaming content at a higher resolution and frame rate without performance loss. You can keep track of your FPS in a variety of ways.
Incoming supply drops. Coordinates uploaded. Item extraction is go.
Ready to bring it on board. seconds till extraction complete. Seconds.
Cargo secure. Extraction complete. Supply drop has been claimed.